that sort of stuff. So look, think about it. I have 6,500 followers here. Only 44 of you here with me. That doesn't, I mean, I would think at least 200 of 6,500 would be able to show up to a live stream, right? But here we are. I'm no TikTok LOL. I do all kinds of silly things. Yeah, just keep it up. Suing us. TikTok, much more interesting. Yeah, it is. And that's because, and you hit the nail on the head. So if any of you don't know, or you have, like, because obviously I do this now as part of a living. So I had to dive into all of the way that all this works. Instagram is like, it's aesthetically, right? Like we're talking about, like aesthetically pleasing people that you want to watch, right? And then Reels on TikTok is helping us be able to build a little bit more because it's using a lot of sounds and sending messages with writing, right? Which is something I should concentrate on more because every time I do it, I have pretty good success. On TikTok, it's interest related. So it's more like I love psychics, mediums, ghosts, paranormal, aliens, Bigfoot, right? So TikTok takes their algorithm and it's like,
they love all of this stuff. We can put it right in front of them because we know that it'll keep them here, right? Instagram lost their foothold because they forgot that was part of it. They want to keep our interest. And you know what? There's only so much I can be reminded that I'm not gorgeous. I'm not beautiful. I'm not handsome. I'm an everyday person. So TikTok was like, we love everyday people, which there are a lot more of us than the beautifully aesthetic people, right? So we were all like, I'm going to go hang out with the mutants on TikTok, who, remember when TikTok first started? It was like the Wild West. You never knew what you were going to get. There are crazy sounds and sound trends. The dancing was what started, but then there's like crazy sound trends that would like get people a lot of traction and grow, and then they could grow their message. Then there was a lot of music that they could put out and we'd be interested in it. And then there was our own interest from art to music to, this kind of stuff, the ghost hunting stuff, our businesses, the strange things in the world that you would never know existed if it wasn't for that app putting it out
in front of you and knowing that you would be interested in it, right? I watch a guy that lives in Detroit. He bought a used car factory and he's been rebuilding cars out of this old car factory, and he always has something interesting to talk about. And then he started doing charity go-kart runs inside the Detroit factory, which is awesome. I love watching that. And then there's a lot of you who do a lot of cool art. The people who make the coffee, Brewed Awakenings, Pure Energy Apothecary, who found us through TikTok. I would have never found you folks here on Instagram because we were not given that reach. Even right now, we're not being given that reach. Thanks, Jackie. But I shaved today and did my hair, so that's maybe why I'm fooling you. I have my green dad sweatshirt on. Thanks. Yeah, I'm all those things on the inside. Thank you. So that's what we're doing. So that's the difference between TikTok and Instagram really is. And then Facebook, of course, turned into like this crazy cesspool
that I think is people we have the chance to turn around, but it's one of those things where it's very censored, and obviously there's a lot of fact checking stuff, and you can't really share anything that you're interested in without somebody jumping on you, right? And that's kind of what it feels like. That's why I say inside of our Discord,
where we hang out, where we have 2,000 or so people hanging out, we can talk about everything but religion and politics because we don't want any divisiveness. They exist, and I acknowledge that they exist, and I know that they're a thing. And like the other day, I talked a little bit about some of that stuff here on Instagram because I feel safe doing it here. I'm not hurting my reputation. I'm not hurting anybody's feelings by talking about those things here. But on TikTok, I would definitely be hurting people's feelings, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to give you my belief and make you think that you should align with it because they're just
my opinions. And just like you have your opinions, and we should never feel like, well, I can't like that person because their opinions are different than mine. That's not true. As a matter of fact, you should like somebody despite their opinions as long as they have good qualities that you align with, because our values aren't all the same, and that's okay. And that's what makes a healthy world,
right? As long as we can be respectful of each other's views. It's when you become extreme on your ideas and say, I can't like you because you know what? I only like original Oreos and you like double stuffed. That's not original. That's dirty. It's bad. I don't like it. But, then us double stuff people are like, what are you, crazy? More filling. It's delicious. Why? Well, we don't like original anymore because it doesn't give me enough of that creamy, good feeling that I love. And I love the dopamine that comes with it, right? And then we're divided. And now we have mega stuffs, and the mega stuff people, I'm like, I can't eat a mega stuff, dude, because that's just too much, right? And now we have divisiveness because we had too many choices, and we talked about our opinions, and now we're angry. So that's okay. But in a
Real world, I should say, you know what? I'm glad that you like regular and original. Keep them coming. The more those you buy, the more different flavors are going to put out Oreos. And I'm happy with my double stuff. They make me happy. And mega stuff, hey, listen, if those make you happy, you enjoy those. But you're going to get to diabetes faster than I am. That's all. So those are some of those things that we just can't talk about on TikTok because it causes problems. But here we can, and we don't do it too much because we want to keep it fun and interesting and light. 2-to-1 cookie feeling for me. Yeah, see, that's fine. I like that. That's good for you. You like that? You like it.
You do it. I like whatever Oreo that gives me the most cream filling. So you're a mega stuff person, Ed. Welcome in, Ed. Hi, Ed. Nice to see you there. Ed, speaking of which, Ed, here's a funny story. So if you know this, I was at the Shanley last weekend, and there's a room called Adam's room, and Adam is a particularly mean
kind of spirit there. He has his own little room. He stays to himself in there for the most part. And back during my birthday, we had a big dance off in Adam's room, and we were just being goofy, silly, 2 or 3 hours of just running the music and being silly and singing and stuff. And it really made Adam mad. And Adam hasn't
talked to me since, through equipment or personally. So I tried apologizing to him the last time I was here, and he was silent. He wouldn't say anything. But anytime anybody else talked, he would speak. So it was crazy. So Ed had the same experience. Hey, Rachel, nice to see you there. Welcome in. Rachel, nice to see you there. I just like Oreos, any stuff. Hey, that's my kind of life right there. So speaking of the Shanley, so if you haven't heard this yet, I'm going to be back there next month, May
26, 27. It's the Memorial Day weekend. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. Hi, Amy TB Art. Nice to see you there. We're going to be hunting aliens, Bigfoot, and ghosts all at once. I'm going to be there with Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, Ron and Lourdes, who run the Staticom project.
And we're going to be staying inside the Shanley Hotel to sleep. We are going to be going into the woods with Ronnie LeBlanc to look for UFOs, UAPs, and aliens. And then he's going to bring us on a Bigfoot trek looking for maybe actually Bigfoot. I don't know. I hope we don't find Bigfoot. I'm going to be real clear and honest with you about that. Bigfoot's 8 feet tall, allegedly, or bigger. I'm 5'8 3/4. I already have a tough time dealing with people who are 6 feet tall, let alone a giant ape that's like 8 to 9 feet tall.
I'm going to find his footprints and stuff, but that's all I want to find. But we're going to be doing those things, and then we're going to be ghost hunting inside the Shanley. We're going to be running workshops, really special experiments, to see if we can have those 3 paranormal entities talk to each other. You can come and hang out with us. You can get a day ticket. So if you're like, well, I don't really want to be there for 2 days, or I only want to look for aliens and Bigfoot,
or I only want to look for ghosts, you can buy a ticket per day, or you can buy everything. It'll include food, lodging, the workshops, hanging out with me, Ronnie, Ron, and Lourdes. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, staying at the Shanley Hotel alone is worth it for the weekend. But then when you work in Ronnie being there doing some Expedition Bigfoot stuff, and then ghost hunting, some mediumship, all the things, and we're gonna and Ron and Lourdes, you're gonna have your mind blown. If any of you here love watching when like Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters and they use the radio, Billy is here, that thing, Ron and Lourdes' equipment put that sort of technique
to shame, and they are the pioneering experts on it. And I don't ever try to explain to any of you because it's such an interesting, crazy thing that I don't have experience with setting up and using. I only am aware of it because I am there when they do it sometimes, and it blows my mind. It's the closest thing to digital mediumship that you could ever have in your life. And it's not always dead people. Sometimes dead people, sometimes we hear things from the past. Sometimes we hear what could be aliens. It's crazy.
The stuff that comes through. So basically, like, if you're looking to have an experience and really have your mind open and kind of take a step further into the paranormal, this weekend is definitely going to be for you. So it's going to be May 25th and 26th, whatever Memorial Day weekend is. I'm terrible. I should just write it down somewhere. I have a calendar over here, but I haven't switched it from April yet.
Shame on me. It's May 2nd already. I'm so jealous. I want to come. Just come join us. Come be with us on the dark side. Next to me, he looks 5'10". Yeah, that's made me feel special. I like that. That was really fun. When you came and I was like, oh,
look, I have somebody who's shorter than me. Welcome. But I never wanted to make you feel shorter than me. That's mean. You're tall. You're tall for your age. Man, Storm Chasing's here. What's up, Storm? How are you? So yeah, we were just chatting a little bit about this kind of stuff. By the way, who here, is actually thinking about like coming and seeing us? Have you ever gone
to Waverly Sanatorium? No. Here's a list of the places I've been that are like paranormal landmarks. The Shanley, Penhurst, Toy Town in Connecticut, or is that Massachusetts? I don't even know.
And that's about it. I don't really go to places to investigate for fun. Mostly I go to places to investigate because there's something paranormal going on and they need help. I go to the Shanley because Kelly, who owns and operates the Shanley, not only is the Shanley actually very haunted, and I don't think that many people could stay there for, like, if there was a challenge to stay there for 24 hours by yourself, not many people would make it because that place is so freaking scary.
But I go to the Shanley all the time because Kelly has dedicated her life to it, and she needs our help as much as the Shanley does to keep it open and running. So I will always, and she is such a wonderful person that I'll always dedicate
as much time as I possibly can to her and her dream, and I think that's important. So I don't really go to too many places that are allegedly haunted, but for the Shanley Hotel and Kelly, I'll always be there. She is one of the most fantastic people. Her heart is in the right place. She never is in front of the camera being like, "Look at me, I own the Shanley. It's so haunted." She doesn't do that. She lets the Shanley speak for itself. And the people who go there and visit, like myself, one night in the Shanley, unless you are one of those people who's like, "You better bring me physical proof of the afterlife," then if you go there with an open mind, you'll understand that there's more going on there than meets the eye. Storm Chasing
would be an interesting page on TikTok. Oh, it is. You can find storm chasers. Y'all be crazy there. Does this work? Does what work? Hi, MLW. Nice to see you there. And Jen says, yes, the Shanley will speak for itself. It does. J Hunt 20, what's up? How are you? Excuse me. Woo! This is why you shouldn't drink coffee and eat at the same time while you're live streaming. How does the Shanley become so haunted? So basically the Shanley Hotel, I think it was built in 1880 something.
And the original structure burned down. But through the years, you have to understand where the Shanley Hotel sits. It's in Napanoch, New York, in the foothills of the Catskill Mountains. There's a huge amount of quartz that's in the mountain there. So we know that quartz, we think, adds to things of haunting. Then there was a lot of tragedy that happened at the
Shanley because it was not only just like a hotel, like let us go there for the week and stay for a vacation, but the people who owned it were in the Irish mob. There were a lot of shady things that happened. There were a lot of people who came in and out of there who did terrible things. There are a lot of
people who stayed there and did terrible things. There are a lot of terrible things that happened around the area. And the hotel, being what it is, seems to be a bit of a magnet to all of these things, including right down the road. And when I say right down the road, if you could stand on the roof of the Shanley, you could look at the at the New York State Maximum Penitentiary. It's right there. And they housed people like Ronnie DeFeo there and some other really famous bad people. So
who's to say that when they passed, they didn't just be like, oh, I know where to go. There, I'm still going to get attention if I go across the street to where this haunted hotel is. So if their spirit or their soul had a chance to leave after they physically expired, there's a good chance that they made a choice to go and be at the Shanley Hotel,
because they have names of famous people who come through there. So there's been a lot. Yeah, Son of Sam was there. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that has happened. So Adam's story is that he was allegedly a serial killer in the late 80s, and that they had a slew of bodies that showed up. They pinned it on this guy, and yeah, that's something there. Jen says, yes, I've accidentally driven into that parking lot 3 times. Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to end up there. Yeah, so plus there's, like, who knows what happened when it wasn't being used for, like, ghost hunting, you know? It was abandoned for a while, so people would go in and out of there. You don't know if they perform rituals or if people passed in there that we don't even know about.
Like, there was a lot of time that's unaccounted for what was going on in that place. And then it was a biker bar for a while. It was a regular bar for a while. It was a dance hall for a while. It had the bordello in it. It had, it was used for prohibition. Like, it was used for soldiers as a barracks. Like, you name it, that building got used for so much. It has the morgue in the basement where they stack bodies in the winter. When it was too cold to dig through the permafrost in New York State. So they would put the bodies in the basement of the Shanley. So there is so much potential for paranormal there that it happens. And of course, when you keep going to a place and you keep the scar kind of open, the wound open, so to speak, the paranormal will come through. And it's just the way that it is. So yeah, there is so much stuff. Do I ever feel unsafe or uncomfortable when you're there? There have been instances where I'm alone in a room, and yes, that can happen. What's up, hon? Oh, you're coming in? Laundry Fairy's coming. Hello, Laundry Fairy.
Over all this camera equipment.
Camera equipment. Don't trip and become a ghost in the house.
That should have stayed in the basement.
There goes old Basket Head the Laundry Fairy. Walking into the Shanley is like stepping back in time. Yeah, that's exactly what I say. Sometimes you can step in there and the energy is like a wave. As a matter of fact, while we were doing a gallery reading on, I believe, Friday night, I was sitting in the chair, in front of everybody, like writing, and I felt this wave, and I looked out and I looked at some of the other people and I was like, did you just feel something? And a couple people were like, yeah, it felt like they felt like they moved a little bit, like an energy wave came through. It was really interesting. What's the name of the silver colored voice recorder that you said works amazing and they don't make anymore? All right. So prepare yourself, because before I tell you the name of it, I'm going to tell you approximately what they cost when you find them. So unless you're rich or well off or very foolish with money, and have about $3,500 to spend, it's called the Panasonic DR60, the Panasonic DR60. Again, it's about $3,500 when you find one, and it has to be the DR60. It can't be the DR40 or the DR50Q is another one, I think. There are some that look exactly like it, but for some reason they don't have the magic. So yeah, so if you're going to go invest in one, it's one of the best pieces of equipment, but make sure you test it before you buy it, because people buy them and they're broken, or they, it just doesn't work.
You spent $3,500?
No, I did not spend. I have a Sony that works really well. I can show you that one, but that also was kind of expensive. So yeah, there you go. Shut Up Ed put the whole thing in there. Panasonic DR60. That's the real one. That's the one that you see all the TV people using. But remember, TV people have money, not their own money. They use the production companies to buy those, and then they get them and they get to keep them because it's a part of their equipment kit. So that's why us poor people don't buy those things. We look for other ones that work. I have a slew of ones. The one that I was using for a long time and works pretty well, I'll show you. You can get it for about $30. I don't have any batteries in it at the moment. I just bought new batteries for everything. This is my one that I've used for a really long time. You can tell it's really beat up. But it has always gone with me, been in my bag. It has an SD port on it. Right here, so you can put a micro SD in there for more memory, which is really a great thing because it doesn't have much memory itself.
It's like us.
Yes,
on that I was seeing when I went to the, what is it called? The Huntington.
Oh, my brain is fried this morning. The theater in Huntington, Pennsylvania. That place. Sean Austin and Chris Mendez both had this particular recorder, which is expensive because they're hard to find. And this thing is so sensitive, it catches crazy EVPs. And this is the Sony. Geez, which one is this? I'm getting old, folks. I just start wearing glasses. It's the ICD, India Charlie Delta dash Sierra Tango 25. And that is this Sony recorder right here. What's neat is it has this moves. I don't know why it moves, but it does. This is the microphone, so you can point it in any direction. It also has a voice cutoff. You can amplify the voice. It has the things on the top for a microphone and a set of headphones. You can turn the directional on or off, so you can point it in certain directions to get stuff like the Clifton Theater. Thanks, Kristen. I don't know why that was escaping my brain. So the Clifton Theater, I heard some of the most amazing EVPs I've ever heard that would almost rival the Panasonic come from this one. But again, this is expensive. This is like... This one was like $200, which is way more than I wanted to spend, but it's better than spending $3,500 on a DR60. Someday when I get my own TV show, I'm going to get one though. I'll get the TV people to get me one. So anyway, that's this one. That's good. So, but
we always say in the paranormal field or anything that you're doing, the best equipment is the equipment that you have. So your phone, all of you have phones on you. That's what you're probably watching me on.
That you should use. If you want to put in this app, here, let me put it in here. Actually, I'll type it to you. This is what it's called. And I think that if you download this app, it's really great.
That's what it's called. I put it in the comments. Hey, Tell. It's a walkie-talkie app for your phone, but we don't use it as a walkie-talkie app. Basically, what you do is you turn it on. It'll ask you to put an email in. It's not a big deal. Then at the bottom, it has a little orange square, and it says push to talk. You hold that down, and it'll record about 30 seconds of your voice. And you could say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm looking to see if there's any paranormal stuff happening here. Is there anyone here with us? And you just be quiet. And it makes your phone insanely sensitive, like
way more sensitive than it needs to be. And basically, I don't know how it utilizes the microphone or what it does, but it changes the settings. So while you're talking, if you're quiet, when I say this, and excuse me for saying this, you could hear a flea fart from 100 yards away with it. It's crazy. And it catches really great EVPs,
and it's free. So, and it saves it to your phone that you can then download or email to people, whatever you want. So it's already shareable once it's on your phone, which is a really great thing. So sometimes if I go into a place and I think that it might be paranormally active, I'll just take my phone out and do a burst EVP session. And I'll be like, hey, is there anybody here? Da-da-da, the whole thing. And a lot of times we catch a lot of unexplainable noises. And it's one of those things that, again, is free. It's accessible, and it's right there for you. So it's called Hey Tell.
You can download it, and I recommend it. A lot of paranormal investigators use it. It's better than using spending hard-earned money on other stuff. And honestly, the reason why in particular will spend a couple extra dollars to get things is because I want to have a backup to the backup. Always. So if I'm not getting anything on my phone, maybe for some reason the ghost or the spirit
or whatever is communicating on a different vibe, and we'll try a different recorder, and then we'll start getting answers. You always want to make sure that you're trying different things as you go along, right? Hey, Outside the Lines, what's up? Nice to see you there. Budgie Lover says, good evening, Scotty. Well, good evening to you. It is 10:38 in the morning for me. I'm drinking coffee with y'all and hanging out. We're talking a little bit about paranormal stuff, some paranormal spiritual equipment and all those kinds of things. So, probably all of you saw in the beginning
of maybe like a couple seasons into like Ghost Hunters. If you remember, they all started using the big bulky Zoom recorders because they were like, oh, these are super sensitive and they're going to work great. So they were spending $300-400 on those. and they actually weren't getting great results.
So, they do catch good EVPs when they catch them. They're really clear and crisp, but it takes a lot for them to work that way. So, don't think that the amount of money that you're spending on a digital recorder is going to get you results. Sometimes it's just like in your junk drawer, you might have a nice digital recorder sitting around, and it might be the next Panasonic DR60, but nobody has ever used it to continuously do EVP work to see how well it works. So you never know. And again, that's why I know this one works really well, this older one that I have, because I use it a lot everywhere I went, and it caught a lot of great EVPs. And it's still going to go in my kit.
I got to put batteries in it and we'll use it. So just so you know, okay? I saw somebody said, yeah, Instagram keeps warping my voice. I apologize. Don't sweat it.
It's not me just going really deep and talking. It's just Instagram. So, with that, they have, I saw somebody said, I'm sensitive. Should I try to use my abilities? Yes. As somebody who, accidentally stumbled into all of my abilities, and then worked on them. Yeah. And you don't have to do everything that I'm doing. I just was like, this is a really great way for me to do things that I've always wanted to do. It's put me in a great position to meet a lot of great people, to do a lot of cool projects, to do things I would have never been able to do had I not been willing to go that extra mile and put the work in. So if you're sensitive, if you just want to communicate with spirit, cool. If you want to do readings, do them. If you want to go ghost hunting and test your metal, so to speak, in the paranormal world, do it. No gatekeeping. One day I hope to see so many of you that are better than I and be better and make their own dreams come true. Nicole Gugu says, where do I buy the recorders? You can purchase them on Amazon. For sure, you can buy this little black one, this little Sony recorder. If you want to take a screenshot of it, you can. That's what it looks like. Just look up Sony digital recorder, and you'll be able to pick it up. Like I said, 20 to 30 bucks. You can buy any recorder. It doesn't matter. Most of them work pretty well. This is just one that I used forever, and it's inexpensive. So I know
it works, and I can tell you with certainty that you will get EVPs with this one. But yeah, just go on Amazon. You can buy them anywhere. You can go on Walmart. You can go to the drugstore and buy things like this. Yeah, if you have a Walmart or a Rite Aid or something like that, you can go in there. A lot of times they have a little section of electronics. They have digital recorders in there. You can buy them there.
One time I forgot all of my digital recorders at home, and I had to go and buy another one. And I have it. I think it's over in my cabinet. I don't use it too much, but I have it. That's because I forgot all of them. And I was like, man, I really need one. What an idiot. I forgot. That happens. Mackenzie, hey, what's up? Nice to see you there. How was your experience with Sam and Colby? Excellent question. I like that. My experience with Sam and Colby was nothing but positive. They're really great dudes. They were really nice. They were really kind. They did not have to invite me to be on their show at all. And basically that just came about. I told the story before, but basically I was at the Shanley Hotel where all great things happen. And I was there for a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. And Kelly had told me, she's like, hey, this guy, Josh, is going to be coming through here again. He was here a couple of months ago, and we had a great time. And he's bringing some YouTubers with him who he said have bigger followings than he does. And they're going to come through here. He won't tell me who they are because it's a surprise, and they may not come. But if they do you want me to ask if it's okay if you're here for it? And I was exhausted, and I was like, yeah, I guess so. So Sunday morning when I was packing up to leave, she's like, hey, they're definitely coming. They're going to be here tonight. What do you think? And I was like, I have to go home. I feel like crap. I was like, but I'll come back tonight.
So I drove over 2 hours home. I took a nap, showered, cleaned up, and I came back that night. And that Sam and Colby showed up, and I had known them because I had seen some of their videos, but I think it was lost on me as to what big stars they actually were. And so what was really nice is I wasn't starstruck. So I was really like calm and able to just be me. Plus I was really exhausted from my 2-day event. So I was able to just like get into it and get
in the groove and be chill and do my thing. And then the whole time they were there, they were really, again, I can't say enough positive things. For two guys who have the world at their fingertips, they were absolutely humble, kind, and really great to work with. And by the way, if anybody who has anything to ask about this, I will say this. In front of me, there was nothing that because I wouldn't put up with this, so you all know. I don't care how big a star anybody is. if anybody comes in
in front of me and tries to fake something or asks me to go along with something that's nonsense or BS, you're going to get a solid no from me, dog, because I have a reputation of my own to uphold and I like it. So basically nothing, I don't think that they ever do anything to mislead or misguide anybody. So
with that being said, people ask me all the time, like, did they fake anything? No, absolutely not. And if they did, I'll be the first person to be like, this was bullshit, because I don't put up with it at all. So just so you know that. My daughter was excited to talk to you. Yeah, that's funny. When I told my daughter, we were friends, she said, do you have any idea how famous he is? I'm not that famous at all. But you know who is actually that famous? I'll tell you who's that famous outside the lines. Oh God, they better not be talking about me again.
it's getting so hard to just deal with all of the people that are just out there and want time from me. And you know what? I just want to go in the backyard and feed the ducks in my man-made pond that I had Mark hand dig. And
He did not, by the way, do it quick enough. And then he gathered gooses, and I wanted all white gooses. And he found some that have some like brown spots, so he got fired for that as well. But anyway, Scotty, that guy, he's always showing up. So yeah, they were really good. They're really good guys. And exploring with Josh again, I got to work with him twice. Super nice guy, super humble. These are people, by the way, who are young, motivated, and do not stop. So I really get upset when people are like, they're just given things and handed things. These social media influencers, no, they're not.
they work so hard. As a matter of fact, this is how hard Sam and Colby work. The week before, maybe a couple days before they were at the Shanley, they were at, I think, Alcatraz, all the way over in San Francisco, and they left their gear in the car when they went to bed for the night, and somebody smashed their
Windows in and stole all of their gear, their laptops, their cameras, everything. So even with that happening, they still stayed the course. They got their old gear and still continued to do what they were doing. They did not let that slow them down or deter them from what they were doing, which is phenomenal, because I think a lot of us would have been like, I just had $15,000 worth of my equipment stolen. What am I going to do now? Nope. They said, all right, we'll just go use our old crap and keep going, because we have people who want this. So when I tell you that it's a tireless effort, it is.
and I don't do half of what they do, and I'm tired all the time. I'm also twice their age, but that has nothing to do with it, I don't think. Yeah, people suck. Yeah, they are. They're nice guys. So if you don't know, this is an interesting thing. So I've never been to the Conjuring House at all. But here's a link between me, Sam, and Colby in the Conjuring House. So after our episode with the Shanley, they headed up to
the Connecticut Conjuring House. And in the Conjuring House, apparently, there's a room where they put sand on the floor so that the ghosts or spirits can write stuff in the sand. Well, when they went up into that room where the sand was, they were like exploring and looking around and doing these things. And they are like looking at the sand, and there's two names written in the sand. One is Rachel, and one is my name, Scott. And it takes them a second, and you can hear their reaction. It's, to me, very genuine. And it was really funny because they were like,
Rachel, they were like, that's one of like our friend who was a medium. And then they were like, oh, and look, it says Scott in here too, in the sand. And they were like, yo, we just worked with that guy at the Shanley. And it was like something spooky, right? I've never been there. There's no reason for my name to have ever been
in that sand. And what are the chances that the two mediums that they've used in their videos their name is written in the Conjuring House sand? So I think that's pretty cool that happened. And again, I think a genuine thing that happened. Yeah, isn't it? So if you watch the Conjuring House video, the first one they did, you'll see they're there with Josh, exploring with Josh, and you'll see that it's a really kind of genuine kind of thing that happened. Yeah. Those Conjuring videos are nuts. When I saw that, I was shocked. Me too. I didn't watch it. Somebody called me and they're like, yo, do you know that they were talking about you on the
Conjuring video? I was like, oh man, I hope they were being nice. I was like, I wouldn't do something to make them upset. But no, that's why they were talking about me, because my name was in the sand there. And it's not like they had to like figure it out. Like, it was very clear. So it's neat. Yeah, watch it. It's pretty cool. And I thought it was neat because it was like another
like maybe the spirit world is connected. Maybe there's a portal from the Conjuring House to the Shanley. Who knows? And maybe the spirits go back and forth. I'd love for them to bring it back and do some videos. Me too. Hopefully our paths will cross again. I'm always chirping at them a little bit on social media to remind them that I'm around. And if they come back over to the East Coast, give me a shout. I always want to work with cool people, and they are cool. And, you know, that goes for anybody. So let me be very clear. You don't have to be super famous. If you have a YouTube channel and you're going to be
In the area and you want me to come on and hang out, I don't have an appearance fee. I want to come and hang out with you and do ghost hunting. So if you're in the area and you're like a serious like YouTuber, Instagram, TikToker, and you want to make some content with me and you're around, and no offense, but if I have the day off or the time, I will come out and do some videos with you. So make sure that you're around. I
love doing that kind of stuff. That's something that's very important to remember for everybody. And again, anybody here watch Paranormal Files with Colin? I don't really like going back on like past stuff that I've done, but I always like people to I want to remind you all because of how kind these other big people were to me. So I want to make sure that if I can add a fan or two for them, I will do that. Colin from the Paranormal Files, also another super, super nice guy. So Exploring with Josh, super nice. And Colin from the Paranormal Files, super nice. And I definitely recommend going and watching their videos. When I was with Colin at Penhurst, I had one of the most
wild paranormal experiences I ever had in my life. And of course the camera wasn't on or pointed towards me when it happened. I got lifted up by my belt buckle. Oh, not my belt buckle, but like the back of my belt. Something lifted me up onto my toes in the solid dark of Penhurst. That was awesome. I was scared. That was actually one of the few times ever I got scared. Exploring Josh, super nice. Yep. And then, Paranormal Files with
Colin, super nice guy again. He works really hard and he's always putting out videos. They're always really fun. He's a nice guy. His family seems really nice. And it was really kind of them to have me on their shows too. So I appreciate it. Hopefully one day I'm big enough and I could be like, hey, do you guys want to come and be on my show now? Do you want to come and hang out with me and do something? Or maybe
one of these TV shows will get made that we're working on, and I'll be able to be like, hey, can I get my boy on here, or one of my boys or some of my guys that have helped me along the way and get them some TV exposure into a different audience that may not know about them. And that's something that I like. If I can do that. What about Kindred Spirits? I like them. They seem nice. Have to go, says Amanda. All right, see you later, Amanda. Hope you're having a great time. Thanks, Mackenzie. Kindred Spirits, I've never worked with them. I've met
I've met all three of them. Chip, Amy, and Mr. Barry. I don't know why his first name's escaping me, but Barry, he's a nice guy. They're all very kind. Very nice people. I only meet them like you guys at conventions and stuff. Every once in a while, I get like a little bit of the peek behind the curtain because I kind of put myself in situations to do that. And I get to say hi to them on a little bit. Adam, thank you very much. And I get to talk to them a little bit more of a personal level, which is always nice. And that's kind of what happened with like, Dave Schrader. That's sort of what happened. Like I just got put in a position by my nice TV producer, Kay, who was like, you should hang out with Dave. You and him are going to get along. And we did. And we do. Shell? Who are you talking to? I'm on Instagram still. Oh, okay. We're talking to each other through the floor. That's fun. And then
a lot of people that I meet that are in the business that are super nice. It's good. There's some that are super turdy too, but we don't talk about them. That's mean. I don't want anybody talking about me if they think I'm mean. I'm nice.
I think you and Dave are amazing together. Yeah, we're funny. We're like old brothers or something. I think anytime you guys feed off each other so well. Yeah, we do. So don't be surprised if somewhere in the future you see us doing something. Shelby wants to know, are you going to Sleepy Hollow in October? I don't know yet. I was invited back, but I don't know what my schedule is looking like that far out. I always tell everybody, I don't know until I know. And when I know, you all know. So I know now that, this month coming, that you come and visit me with Ronnie LeBlanc, and we're going to look for aliens, Bigfoots, and ghosts. And then what's after that? Yeah, we are comedians, aren't we? And then I think June is empty for me at the moment. Then July is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. So if you're going to be in the area of Gettysburg at the end of July, I'm going to be there for the Gettysburg Battle Bash. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to open the table to do readings. So if you want to come and see me and skip my line and do some readings, come to Gettysburg because I'm going to do some. I'll have a table with some really nice stuff on it. I'm gearing up for that and to do some readings because I haven't done them in the past because it's always very busy there. But I think this year is going to be the first year I'm going to sit down and make some appointments and we'll do some readings at the table. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can come and do. He's obsessed. Well, maybe wherever he is, he can help us. Wherever he is on the other side, I can ask him to help me guide me towards the Bigfoot. He runs a campground, so he wasn't able to go. I understand. All right. It's about time for me to kick it. I got to go grocery shopping with Shelly, the missus. So if you like this kind of thing, make sure that you have your notifications turned on here on Instagram. Remember, I am going to be live tonight at 9 p.m. on TikTok. So if you're interested in hanging out with me there, I think we're going to have Sarah Lemos there. I'm waiting for her to confirm with me. If she's not there, I will come up with something fun to do. And I'm going to try to go live during sometime this afternoon or this evening on TikTok to do some stuff there. Okay? So thanks for hanging out with me, asking all these great questions. Let me talk to you a little bit about my stories. If you haven't yet, if you're new, just hit the follow button wherever that might be here on Instagram. And then do me a favor when this is all said and done, find the share
button and share it out. I would really appreciate it. Again, we're trying to grow this up past 10,000 so we can start our subscribership here on Instagram for those folks who want to get the readings and stuff but don't want to go anywhere but here. Totally understandable. I get you. And we're going to get there. Okay?
Again, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If it didn't start off good, hopefully
this helped change it and it's going to be better now. I'll see